It's Sunday. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, and yes, this is Video Games and Consoles from the Loft. Well, welcome to part 9, and today for you, instead of doing 2 items which I had proposed to do today, I've decided to do only 1, as I think it needs special attention. And here it is, the video entertainment computer by Grandstand, also known as the Channel F System 2, released by Zircon in 1979. Well, I actually have 2 pieces of background information to dish out. One for Grandstand and the other for the Fairchild Semiconductor Company. So let's start at the beginning with Fairchild Semiconductor. The Fairchild Semiconductor Company was founded in 1957 and they released their first games console in 1976, the Fairchild Channel F system, and that system was the first system ever to use programmable carts. The system itself was designed by Jerry Lawson, who used Fairchild's F8 CPU. The system itself wasn't around for all that long, just over about a year or so, as it struggled against the likes of the Atari 2600, which actually had better graphics and better sound. Now, Fairchild did have an answer for this and were due to release a System 2, but unfortunately were hit once again by the video game crash of 1977 and so bowed out of the market. Zircon, another company, bought the rights to the Channel F system and released the System 2 in 1979. Well, that's the Fairchild Semiconductor Company out of the way. Let's check out Grandstand. Now, Grandstand was a company who were live from the 70s to the 80s here in the United Kingdom. So I think it's fair to say, as they're no longer in existence, that these types of games that they sold are actually becoming quite collectible. So if you collect retro games, these are for you. Now, the company, what they would do would import these games from different manufacturers such as Tomy, Epoch and Entex, rebrand the game name and then stick the Grandstand logo on the top. And here we are, the Channel F System 2, imported by Grandstand and rebranded by Grandstand as the video entertainment computer. So let's take a closer look. Well, here's the system itself. As you've seen, I've already got the box and I've got a few instruction manuals inside. This is the main Grandstand instruction manual. I just find it so funny it was called the Video Entertainment Computer. I'd have much rather it had been called the Channel F System 2, like it does on this leaflet. It's such a far better name and such a cool logo as well. Got a few warranty cards for the games. This is a problem solver if you've got no picture or no sound, and it tells you how you can fix that. And I've got a nice selection of games. I've got 4 in total, all come boxed with instructions. The number 1 cart there actually comes with 4 games built in: Tic-Tac-Toe, Shooting Gallery and Doodle, and Quadradoodle. I also got Robot Wars, Torpedo Alley, Drag Strip and Hangman. Come to those a little later. This is the actual mains adapter. It was made by Grandstand. The actual mains cord is hardwired onto the back of the computer and it plugs straight into that mains adapter. We'll come to that in a moment or two. So let's have a look at the front of the system. Now, at the front of this system, it is virtually the same as the first Channel F system, although this one has a power switch now. You also have the reset, time, mode, hold and start buttons at the front of the system, which you always interact with when you're selecting different modes of gameplay. The cartridges look like this, which are totally funky and really cool looking. You've got your dust flap there to protect the inside of the cart, and the cart slides in to the slot at the front of the machine, and then to eject, all you have to do is push the eject button on the front. And now if we move to the back of the system, you can see that the controllers are actually held in these nice plastic holders at the back, whereas on the first system they were actually stored under a plastic cover on the top. These controllers are totally innovative and work really well. You can turn the controller at the top there to the right, to the left. You can move it around like a gear stick in a car. You can also push it down as well to interact with games in many different ways. And as you see, they store nicely at the back. You've got a pin connector which is at the end of the controllers. And if I turn the system around, you can see that the controller can be plugged straight in, whereas again on the first system they were hardwired into the back. So at least you could replace the controllers if they ever got broken. On the right of the system there, you've got your mains power cord, which plugs into that mains adapter I showed you earlier, and it has a 4-pin connector. On the left, you've got your TV lead, which plugs obviously into your TV. Whereas on the first system, the sound actually came from the actual console, whereas on this system, it comes from the TV. If we have another look at the games again, if we check out the Hangman box, you can see that it's extremely detailed on the back, and it gives you a picture of the gameplay and the instructions. Inside the box itself, you've got the instructions and the video game cart. Now, each manual for every game is always extremely detailed and very easy to read, so you'll never have any problems when it comes to the gameplay. If we actually have a look at the front of the Hangman game cart, it also gives you the instructions as well, so if you lose the manual, at least you know how to work the game. And of course, it just slides into the front, and away we go, and we can look at some gameplay. And of course, plug in that 4-pin connector into that mains adapter as I've been describing, and here we go with some gameplay. So here we go, I'm going to start off with the Hangman game, and you can always select different modes of games by pressing the buttons at the front of the console as described. If I'm showing you the controller now, to select letters to choose, you turn the actual analog stick to the right or the left to move up and down the alphabet letters, and then push down on top of the controller to select them. And then you'll either be given a good sound or a bad sound, whether depending on if you've chosen the right letter or not, just like you would a normal Hangman game. And as you can see, I failed, and that's the end of that game. I'm now moving on to the second game now, and this game is actually the Video Kart 1, and this is the one I was describing earlier with the 4 games built in one. And this game is Shooting Gallery, and is very easy to use. All you have to do is push down on the top of the controller and fire at the targets. Obviously you have to time your shots right to hit the targets, but it's really good fun, and that is actually one of my more favourite games on this system. Now, I just think this system is really cool, and it was totally ahead of its time, and it was really quirky as well for those innovative controllers and these really cool looking carts. Okay, the system itself probably wasn't the best looking thing on earth, but it really had some great ideas. And if you'd like to own one of these, I'm sure you shouldn't have to pay anything over £40. I mean, 4 years ago I paid £20 for this system, and that was including postage and packaging. So I hope you can find one. If you want one in America, I'm sure the same sort of price as well, about $40. So hopefully you'll be able to pick one up still. Well, if you want to check out the first ever system that Fairchild made, then you should check out Gamester81's channel. I've popped the link up above me. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next weekend for the last instalment from this first series. Take care, and thanks for watching.